from America's finest city. This is Real Talk San Diego on ESPN 1700.
What's happening, gang? You are back live for the second hour of The Secret Stash. Tracking down some cool local people, talking about some cool local stuff. Who knows, maybe grabbing a story or two in the process with the singular goal of leaving you a little better than how we found you. I'm your host, Jesse Ibanez, co-founder of the Greenhouse Group, helping folks get into and out of homes. That's our game, and we're running it right out of the headquarters in the heart of San Diego. You can check us out, learn a little bit more about what we do by going to thegreenhousegroupinc.com. Now, in the studio today, I'm actually really excited to have this conversation with my man Jeff Morris. Jeff, by the way, from MDI West Properties. Now, Jeff is doing the thing that almost everybody that I talk to wants to do, in that he's actually a successful local flipper. Okay? So he's the guy who goes out there, scoops up cribs, makes them pretty, and then sells them to all of our buyers who love the delicious photos on the MLS and makes a couple bucks in the process, right? But he's got a very unique approach. At least I think it is anyway. It's not necessarily the approach that you typically hear structured inside this conversation. And I know that you're going to love learning about it because you might actually find a role for yourself in it. So first of all, my man Jeff Morris, thanks for coming into the Secret Stash.
Thanks for having me, Jesse.
Hanging out with us, leaving us a little better than how you found us. So let's start with that frame that I asked at the top, which was, is flipping dead in San Diego? What say you about that?
It's not dead. Flipping's not dead anywhere. There's always opportunity in every market that you're in. We happen to be in San Diego right now, and we're continuing to flip, properties in San Diego. There's all different ways to have deals sourced to you and find flip opportunities. And, it starts with, connecting yourselves with really good agents, smart agents that really understand their local marketplaces, and even neighborhood by neighborhood. You need to really establish those relationships and create a bond with those agents and have them be convinced that you're a good investor to bring their properties to. And as long as you do that and you have a big enough network, you're always going to have opportunities to look at.
There's actually a lot of agents that listen to the station, so you might be connecting with one right now for the first time. But do you have to be an agent in order to be somebody that you work with?
No, you don't. We have what we call joint venture partners. And our joint venture partners come in all different sources. It's real estate agents, brokers, contractors, other investors who are looking for capital. Everybody that's in this business is looking for ways to find distressed residential asset investing opportunities. And it doesn't have to be just a real estate agent. Our model happens to work very well for agents, but it also works well for contractors and other investors.
Yeah, I was going to say. And by the way, if you want to chime in and ask Jeff a question about any of the stuff that we're going to cover over the next hour, you're more than welcome to actually call in. So if you're on your cell phone right now, 866-405-1717, or we're streaming this entire conversation live right now through our Twitter handle at @FollowTheStash. You can actually tweet your question live, and we'll be sure to ask it on the air. But Jeff, this isn't 2005 and 6 anymore, right? So how is it different than, this isn't your mom and dad's real estate market anymore, right? So what's similar and what's changed over the last decade?
A lot less competition right now. You have less people in the market looking to invest in properties because it's harder to find them. And it's access to capital is important. Access to having deals sourced to you is very important. Real estate values are up, so it's harder to find the deals. What we're finding is the way to identify opportunities are usually the houses that need a lot of work, need big rehabs, and sellers are looking to cash out, don't have the money to put into the house to fix up, to put on the market. They don't want to deal with it, and they'd like to have all cash in a pretty quick period of time.
Yeah, or the home, for whatever reason, actually can't be financed, if there's some sort of deferred maintenance or, God forbid, like a cracked slab or something like that, and they have to go cash.
Absolutely. And it can't pass inspections. It can't get loans. There's all kinds of reasons that houses just can't be sold in the traditional way. And that's where we like to help people, and people out there, looking to do things, doing flipping houses like we are, those are the kind of opportunities you want to look for. You want to look for those houses that have some problems, and we call them distressed assets, distressed residential assets.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you are, the agent's best friend. I think you maybe had said it maybe in a different arrangement of words. But so what makes you more partner friendly as a flip outfit than maybe anybody else who's doing what you're doing?
I would say kind of the way we structure our deals, we want it's got to be beneficial to both sides. And in the
both sides meaning you and the partner.
Correct. As you enter into a deal, you need to be able to convince a real estate agent or another investor or another contractor that finds an opportunity. You want them to feel good about bringing that opportunity to you and sharing in that success. And so if you can create a model that's mutually beneficial, then it's a win-win for everybody.
We're going to learn more about that model with Jeff, I think, actually right after our first break. But you can learn more about Jeff yourself by going to MDIWest.com, or you can email him at team@MDIWest.com. So give me an example. Like maybe you don't have to go back in the not-too-distant past and think about a really successful, let's keep it local right now for now, because you're still doing San Diego flips, yes?
Yes, we do San Diego.
So maybe a local one that people can resonate with. Like so how, like, what was that last process look like? How did you find it? How did you acquire it? What were your partner and maybe how much money you guys made?
Yeah, we recently, just closed, 2 deals, one up in North County, one in Vista and one in Carlsbad, right here in San Diego County. And those weren't really unique. They were right down the middle of the fairway type deals, and we liked those deals.
So meaning not too much deferred maintenance kind of thing?
Not a lot. But from a structure standpoint, the way it worked with our partner is we had a real estate agent, and he teamed up with a rehab specialist, contractor type guy, and another smaller investor. And they put a team together, and we were the primary investor. They were the joint venture partner investor. They found a property. We underwrote it. We looked at what's the as-is value today. What's it going to cost to rehab the property? How long do you think we'd have to hold it to sell it? And what's our ARV, our after repair value? And once we determine that, we go through a short, little one-page underwriting process. We talk through it, look at comps, and we say, let's go. We like this price, and let's try and buy it. And in both of those instances, it was the same group, and we're able to buy these houses in the $350,000 to $400,000 range. We put $35,000 to $40,000 in each house, and the exit price was in the $500,000 to $600,000 range on each of them.
Hanging out with my man Jeff Morris, asking the question, is flipping dead in San Diego right now? I don't think he thinks it is, and I'm not sure I'm convinced either. Now, you mentioned that you guys are actually doing the financing. Is that true? So like, let's say I'm your venture partner. I'm the one who finds the property. So you're giving me the money to pay for it then. Is that how it works?
Yeah, a majority of the capital. That's correct.
The majority of it. Okay. Yeah. Is that like a set thing every single time, or does it depend on each? Is it property specific or project specific?
No, the model is consistent, and the model is that we provide 85% of the capital to acquire and rehab the property.
Oh, wow. Okay. So then as the joint venture guy, I would only have to bring the difference of 15% then?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is no chump change, right? So what if I don't have the 15%?
Well, that occurs sometimes where we have a partner who can source a deal, but they don't have the capital to even put up the 15%, and that's okay. We have a big enough network of business relationships and contacts where we can actually help them find the 15%. A lot of times it's family and friends money they use. Sometimes it's hard money lenders they use for the 15 or 20%. In most cases, 15 to 20% is $30,000 to $40,000. To get into the deal.
Yeah.
But it works real well, because they're able to share the profits with us.
And where does that money park? Like, does that give them like the equivalent of 15% ownership in the property while it's being rehabbed? How does that work?
They get half the profit, 50%.
Oh, wow. So they only put in 15%, but they get half of the profit on the back end.
Correct.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man.
And that's kind of the secret sauce of the model is that, they don't have to put a whole lot of money up, whether it's theirs or somebody else's, and they can share in a substantial part of the profit.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. So, but then also they're sharing in the downside that if it doesn't go well, right? I mean, and are you guys managing the actual flip for them, or is all of that responsibility on them?
Majority of the responsibility is on them. They run the deal. We let them use their contractors. We let them use all their people that it takes, from a post-closing standpoint.
Okay.
Everything that's required to get the deal closed, with the exception of we place the insurance, we do all the back office administrative work, which helps them too. That's another benefit to the partner.
Yeah.
And so we handle the finance and accounting and the insurance. Other than that, they run the deal, and we give them 100% freedom to go get it done.
Gang, you can see why I got Jeff Morris in Stash Nation today. I mean, this is a really interesting approach to potentially a trite old conversation about how to scoop up something property related here in our beautiful, lovely, very giving, you might say, San Diego County real estate market, but not have to front the entire bill for it, right? So put a little skin in the game and then actually share in half of the profits on the back end. That's why we got Jeff Morris from MDI West Properties. I'll drop your website one more time if they want to learn a bit more about what you guys do at MDIWest.com. And Jeff, I'll also say, coming up, first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about, is it just San Diego County? Or can you guys actually pull this off in maybe some different areas? And then the other thing, which is going to be one of my contributions, is where do you find the properties in the first place? So Stash Nation, we'll be right back. Real Talk Radio.